but I bought this figure for one reason and one major reason only. Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? We're back with a brand new action figure review, and you all voted, and you wanted to see the Robin review next, so unfortunately this is going to have to be put on the back burner. But today we're going to take a look at the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Collection exclusive Robin DC vs. Vampires edition. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the review and take Robin out of the box. Alright, here's Robin out of the box, and just at first glance, you'll love to see it, a bunch of accessories, but let's start with the least important one first. Just like all McFarlane Toys figures, he comes with a DC base plate. Now he does come with two weapon accessories, and the first one we're going to take a look at, it looks like it's a steak.
That sets off the flavor of a steak, like some ketchup.
And no, not that kind of steak. Then his second weapon accessory is a sword, which looks good. Thankfully, this one wasn't warped, like we've gotten before from other McFarlane Toys figures where the weapon accessory is like warped or too thin. So the cool thing about this gold label release is that he has two additional sets of hands, 6 total. Let's go and take a look at them. So he has a pair of fisted hands, and then he also has a pair of gripping hands, which in reality they look like trigger hands because you see the index finger kind of sticking out a little bit. Why? I don't know. And then the last set's a cool one. It's like an expressive one. So you have an open hand and then a pointing hand, which is kind of cool. It's reminiscent of the Gold Label Collection Dick Grayson Robin. Just like all DC Multiverse figures from McFarlane Toys, he comes with a data file card. So the image is the same thing you saw on the back of the box. And on the back is the data file. Feel free to pause it if you want to go ahead and read it. All right, now let's take a look at the figure itself. And we'll get started with the head sculpt first. And it's pretty gnarly. And it, you know, I was thinking it kind of looks like the dude from the Twilight series that turned into a wolf. If he was like on acid and he was like high at the same time, his eyes were just bloodshot. But no, I do like the sculpting work. I like the way they sculpted the hair, the fang or his teeth look pretty gnarly. Same with the sculpt work right here. You could see like the wrinkles in his eyes. Like, yeah, because he's angry, you know, because I guess vampires are just naturally angry. But yeah, I like the sculpting work so far for the head. One thing I really do like, I do like the way the hair is sculpted on here. It looks pretty cool. When taking a look at the rest of the figure, everything from the shoulder down, or everything in the body except for the head sculpt, is a reuse of the, I think, Infinite Frontier Robin. But I never picked that up just because I thought the head sculpt kind of looked like the American Dragon Jake Long. I don't know if y'all ever seen that, but I never picked up that Robin before. But this is essentially that same body mold being used for this vampire Robin. So while it is an entirely reused body mold from the Infinite Frontier Robin, the cool thing about this is it's kind of painted in the traditional Damian Wayne Robin colors, or just a Robin color in general, the typical black, red, and gold and green aesthetic, which looks really good. But I bought this figure for one reason and one major reason only. So here is the main reason right here why I purchased this figure. Allow me to elaborate. But when this original Damian Wayne figure came out from McFarlane Toys, I think it was 2021, and this was based off of his Teen Titans run, I think. But anyways, it was good for its time, but when they released Infinite Frontier Robin, it was a good body mold. However, it's not his like traditional look. So when they came out with the Vampires version, he has kind of that traditional color palette like I mentioned earlier. And here's the major difference. This body mold is better engineering wise in terms of articulation when comparing it to the OG one. He's got double jointed elbows and double jointed knees, whereas the OG release had single jointed elbows and single jointed knees, thus not giving it as much range as this figure could. So let's go ahead and try the head swap. And right as I was doing the head swap, I'm reminded why I don't really like this figure, this body mold, is because how combustible the legs are. Like you push it just a little bit and the leg just pops off easily. Yeah. And me personally, I think this looks perfect for my like traditional Damian Wayne Robin figure. This is definitely the version that's going to go in the Bat Family display and like for toy photography shots. You know, this one, proportionally, I mean, his head's like kind of like sunken in a little bit. I might try to use a longer neck peg, but I think this kind of works with his head sculpt in terms of this attire, especially like the sharp parts coming out of the shoulder. I think that works, but let me know what you think in the comments below. To me personally, this is perfect for me for my traditional Damian Wayne Robin. Now I'm just going to jump right into size comparisons, and So unfortunately, I don't have many figures to display them with or size comparisons just because a lot of my figures are packed away since I'm in the middle of moving. So the only figures I have available to compare them with are figures that are opened or that I opened recently, like these Warhammer figures. But here he is standing next to a couple recently reviewed figures. If you haven't checked it out, please go and check it out. But we have Khorne Berserker on the left and the Ultramarines Terminator on the right, aka the quote-unquote mega figure. The next size comparison, here he is standing next to some more McFarlane Toys figures. We have the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn on the left and the Nightfall Batman on the right. And I guess if this is going to be my Damian Wayne Robin going forward when I do the head swap, Nightfall might be a little too short for him in terms of scaling. I might put him next to the Hush Batman. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Now time for a random ass size comparison, but still keeping it within the McFarlane Toys banner. Here he is, the next couple My Hero Academia figures. We have Deku, not Todoroki, and Ochako.
I shouldn't heart.
Alright, some overall thoughts on the figure. I like it a lot. This is easily going to be one of my favorite figures this year, and the reason why it's being propelled is because of the kit bash I'm going to do after the review. I'm going to put this head sculpt on here, so this is going to be my classic Damian Wayne Robin. But apart from that, if you're a fan of DC or DC Multiverse line, I still recommend picking this up. It's definitely a 10 out of 10 in my book. Well, probably an 8 or 9 out of 10 because I'm noticing, comparing it to the Infinite Frontier Robin, there's a lot of areas of paint detail missing where it was on that figure, it's missing on here. And even comparing it to the OG Damian Wayne figure, you can see there's more paint details on the sculpt work than there are on this figure. So I'd probably give it like 8 or 9 out of 10, but I don't really do ratings like that. But anyways, if you're a DC fan, I highly recommend picking it up because as a gold label figure, this comes with a plethora of accessories, 2 weapon accessories, and then your base plate and card. You know, stuff you normally get with DC Multiverse stuff. But yeah, I like this figure a lot, but let me know what you think in the comments below. YouTubers, sound off below, and like always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.